Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new preview. Arsenal versus Chelsea Carabao Cup semi-final. Now, this match is going to be amazing for so many reasons. Number one, first leg was exciting. It was end-to-end. Both teams came to play. Both teams came to deliver. Yes, at the end of the day, Chelsea lost. But come to think about it, that's like the only game Liam Resinoa has lost in his last, what, 5, 6, ever since that game, he has won against every single opposition. Chelsea went ahead to trash Brentford 2-0, Crystal Palace, Napoli, West Ham just over the weekend. And of course, Arsenal's form in the league has actually not been all that. That is, of course, without their previous win just right over the weekend against Leeds United. Prior to that, Arsenal have gone ahead to draw to Liverpool, draw to Nottingham Forest, lose to Manchester United at the Emirates, which is the first loss they've recorded at the Emirates Stadium this whole season. It was a shocker. Many people did not see that coming. Yes, Manchester United pulled off the impossible. And don't forget, this is the same Emirates Stadium that has seen the likes of Bayern Munich, who got thrashed by Arsenal 3-1, Atletico Madrid, who got thrashed by Arsenal 4-0. So it's not like big teams have not been to the Emirates Stadium this season. Manchester City went there and got an all-out draw. Liverpool went there and got a goalless draw. But somehow, Manchester United came off with the upset of the season, if you can put it that way. But of course, this preview is not about Manchester United. This is about Arsenal and Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, the battle for who goes to Wembley. Because, of course, on the other side of the semi-final round, we have Manchester City, who had earlier won Newcastle at the St. James's Park 2-0. So it's looking almost likely that Manchester City will, go to Wembley. Now, the question is between Arsenal and Chelsea. Is a one-goal difference between them going into the home ground to Arsenal? Now, who will come out of this fixture on top is the big question here. Arsenal already have the one-goal advantage, and they also have the home advantage, which will make it a little bit easier for them. Granted, in the first leg, Chelsea were missing a number of players, the likes of Marco Correa, and of course the likes of Caicedo, both of whom will now fully be integrated back into the starting lineup for Chelsea. And over the weekend also, Liam Resinoa decided to rest some of his key players in the starting lineup against West Ham, a decision that could have cost Chelsea so dearly. Because in the first half, they were already losing by 2-0 before he decided to make his first team changes back, brought in the likes of João Pedro back into the starting lineup, who went ahead to get him back the goal and eventually got him the win from Enzo Fernandez. And now João Pedro is one player to watch out for, especially for Arsenal, because in the past, I think in his past 4 games, he has scored. He scored against Brentford. He scored against Crystal Palace. He scored against Napoli. He scored against West Ham. So he's a player on red hot form right now. But of course, that is not to discount Arsenal as well. Because as much as Arsenal will be missing some key players in this particular fixture, they also have a secret weapon that Mikel Arteta has started reintegrating into the starting lineup. Yes, they've lost the likes of Mikel Merino to injury. I think he has a foot injury, as reported by Arsenal. He'll be undergoing a surgery, which will probably keep him out for majority of the remainder of the season. It is rumored that he's expected back to early training sometime around April, by which time the season is virtually almost over. And before he gets back to full fitness and begins to feature in the team squad, it will probably be the end of the season. There are some reports even claiming he might miss the World Cup with Spain, which would be a huge blow, both to the Spanish national team, to Arsenal, and to him personally as a player. Because, of course, no player wants to, miss out on games. So injury is a big blow to every single player, especially when it's at the crunch time of the season and every player wants to play. And yes, Arsenal fans must be saying, we always injuries, always with injuries. It's almost as if there's a cause that when there's a player coming back from injury, another one will be going. Arsenal just welcome back Kai Havertz, the likes of Calafiori, back into the team. And they are now missing Mikel Merino and Bukayo Saka, who also got a niggle from the pre-match warm-up against Leeds. Now, on Saka, there is no concrete news yet. as to whether he will be able to feature in this particular matchup or for how long he will be out for. But yes, Kai Havertz is back, and ever since his return to full team action, he has actually been scintillating, and his link up with the forward players has just been something else. Martin Odegaard in previous game days has not actually been delivering, as expected, and rightfully so. Arsenal fans have been on his soldier. For me personally, I think they've taken it a little bit overhead. Some people even calling for him to leave the club in the summer. I'm like, come on, that's a little bit on the extreme side. But when he came in against Leeds, he delivered an assist to Gabriel Jesus and also a pre-assist. So he knows what is expected of him. And as the captain of that team, the onus is on him to deliver and drag that team in the difficult times. Granted, in open play and in every game they play, he leads the press for Arsenal, and boy can he press. Yes, Martin Odegaard's press is almost like choking the opposition. So on that he's good. And we all know he's a talented player. There is nothing, he can give some magical blind passes that you just sit and wonder like how is he delivering these kinds of things. On his day, if Martin Odegaard is playing well, Arsenal are playing well, and they can blow almost every team out to water. But if he's not on it, then Arsenal will definitely suffer. And rightfully so. Because he's a key man in that Arsenal central attack. Everything goes through him. Yes, in the last game they played against Leeds United, he didn't feature, he came off the bench. Same with Eberechi. Kai Havertz actually started that game. And Kai Havertz has been linking up very well with Victor Gyökeres in the game against Carabao and also in the Leeds game. And even throw back to the preseason game where they played, where he and Gyökeres played together, and they both scored. Now, another thing that is working for Arsenal is that both their two forward men are scoring. Victor Gyökeres is scoring. Gabriel Jesus is scoring. The last match, they both scored. When Victor Gyökeres scored from that cross from Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus came in and also scored. As a matter of fact, he would have even scored possibly a hat-trick because he had like two clear-cut chances before he actually now scored. So it's a very good one for Arsenal that all their players are getting into form at the right time because they are in all four competitions currently. They are still in the Carabao Cup, which of course is what they will play against Chelsea. They are in the FA Cup. They are in the Champions League. Of course, they topped the Champions League table. Now waiting for their opposition after the playoff to know who they will be facing in the round of 16, which means they have it all in their hands, all these four competitions, depending on how far they can carry themselves. And they have a very large squad that can actually go the whole distance in all four of these competitions. So it's a big kudos to them. And Madueke also coming in for Saka, over the weekend against Leeds. He scored that brilliant, wonderful goal, from the corner. Initially, it was given as an own goal, but then it was later adjourned by the FA as a goal credited to Noni Madueke, which I'm sure he'll be very relieved because that's like his first goal in about 25 Premier League games, some of which, of course, are from his days at Chelsea. Now, we all know he's a very exceptional and brilliant player, but his finished product is something that he really needs to work on. And if he can work on his finished product and get a likely output to what Saka has been getting in previous seasons for Arsenal, that Arsenal attack will be deadly. Because he's a very direct player, he's a very tricky player, and he's a very fast player. Defenders can hardly cope with him. So I think if Noni Madueke can find his form, it will really do them a whole lot of good. Gabriel Martinelli also came and put in a shift and had an assist in that particular game versus Leeds. So Arsenal's attack is currently up for it right now. The midfield, not much to be said. Declan Rice, Zubimendi, they're all up for it. Zubimendi got his goal. First goal, I think, in that game against Leeds. And he really needed that goal. Coming off of the goal he, gifted to Manchester United the previous weekend. So I think this is going to be a very good matchup, for both teams. Mikel Arteta got his lineup spot on, his substitutions bang on as well. And yes, for Chelsea, Reece James, I think, will be back to action. Caicedo will be back, so the midfield will be packed. Fofana is back and active. The likes of Chalobah, Cucurella, and Malo Gusto at right back for Chelsea. They will definitely be bringing the fire. As a matter of fact, Caicedo was speaking the other day, I think to Sky Sports, and he said they are coming to the Emirates Stadium to win. They are not coming to roll over like a pack of dogs. They are coming to win. Which means they've realized that in that first game, they let themselves down. And they have to bring the fire in this particular game. Enzo Fernandez has also been very active. He has been scoring goals and playing brilliantly well in that Chelsea's midfield. Now, yes, granted, Palmer, for his standard, we will say he has not been delivering. But this is the moment for Palmer to turn up. This is the moment for Palmer to drag the team and lead them to glory. Because if Chelsea can actually go ahead and beat Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium and head over to Wembley, it will be a very huge confidence boost for them. And it will set up their season brilliantly. As a matter of fact, it will give Liam Reznor, some more credits in the back. So I think Chelsea players really need to turn up for this one. But another thing is that Esteval for Chelsea, currently reports are coming in that he's currently in Brazil, attending to some family issues. He missed the last game, and the reports are still saying he's probably going to miss this game as well. So that will be a huge loss for Chelsea because he played brilliantly well in the first leg at the Stamford Bridge. He really troubled Timber in that game. So that is one person, of course, that I feel Chelsea will sincerely miss in this game. But of course, Garnacho came in that game. Garnacho was literally the savior for Chelsea in that first leg, coming in as a substitute and scoring the 2 goals to keep Chelsea in this tie. Because if Garnacho had not come in to draw back those 2 goals, this tie would have virtually been over. It would just almost be a fulfillment of all righteousness for Chelsea going to the Emirates Stadium. Because how would Chelsea expect to go and score 3 goals? As a matter of how they expect to score 4 goals against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium? Arsenal just conceded 3 goals against Manchester United for the first time in about 2 years. So going to score 4 goals against the same Arsenal at the Emirates would definitely be a tall ask. So I think Garnacho can also bring something to this Chelsea side, as well as Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto will probably be playing at the right hand side, for this game. And the big man up top for Chelsea, João Pedro, the man in form, the man of the moment. He has been delivering for them recently, similar to what he did in the Club World Cup when Chelsea first signed him. So I see this being a very exciting and entertaining, matchup. So Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, let me know how you're feeling about this game. What are your score predictions? Drop them down in the comments. Of course, I'll check them out and we'll react to them. And yes, we have another video on this channel for combined 11 between Arsenal versus Chelsea in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Don't forget to check that out. And don't forget, if you're still here at this time, like the video, subscribe to the channel because we're dedicated to bringing you amazing things. And big shout out to all of our subscribers that have been following us, supporting us, liking us. You're the motivation for what we're doing. I will continue to bring you the best of the best. We're trying to build a very awesome community right here. Our target for this week is 200 subscribers. We're currently at 111. Big shout out to every single one of you guys that have subscribed to the channel. We'll do amazing things together this year. So I hope to see you in the next video.